This right here is a Tylex W58, and this is an awesome keyboard. We'll talk about it today. The build quality is pretty good. It's lightweight as well, but I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Minus 1 point because the battery cap isn't very sturdy, but it doesn't really matter because you're not going to be looking at the back. As for the finish, it's matte and the keycaps are ABS plastic. The ABS keys aren't mushy at all. They feel very good, very very premium in fact when typing on it. Now, as for its mouse, we'll get into more details here about its accuracy later on, but it does its job very well. I did some DPI tests just to see the DPI settings it's on. I can be wrong because the DPI tests I made are quite inaccurate, but at least you have an idea of the DPI settings you will have for the mouse. So the single USB dongle is good for both the keyboard and the mouse together. The keyboard does not have an on and off switch because it shuts down automatically if it's not receiving the 2.4 GHz signal. As for the mouse, there's an on and off switch. But both the mouse and the keyboard have an auto sleep function if you're not using it. I believe for 10 minutes. I didn't count the time. I think it's worth mentioning also that the keyboard does not have any kind of backlighting. So the battery you will be using for the mouse are 2 pieces of AAA batteries, and for the keyboard you're going to be using 2 pieces of AA batteries. Take note of that one. For my typing experience, sure, they feel very good to type on, very quiet. Now, how about for gaming? You might be wondering, you can use this for light gaming, but not for heavy gaming, like CSGO, Valorant, mainly because there is a delay. So, I feel the delay because I'm used to high-grade sensors. If you have been using mice below the 400 peso range, or below the $10 range, then you wouldn't really notice the delay. Now, as for the mouse accuracy, it's good enough. It passes, but then again, sometimes it won't register your micro movements. So, I suggest using this in low DPI or mid DPI setting. So, what are the cons of this keyboard and what are the reasons why you're not going to want to buy it? Number one, the prints will eventually fade, which is kind of a big deal for me. If we look closely into the outline of the keyboard, you'll notice that the backspace right here is chopped. Alright, I'm used to longer backspaces, but really, it doesn't matter for me because it's something you will get used to. Now, also, you will notice there's one control key here, but there's no more. The layout might be something you should be getting used to. Another thing that I wanted to share with you is that likes and subs are free. Now let's talk about the pros. As you can see with the outline, it's very similar to a laptop. So laptop users out there who want to use an external keyboard, this is very good for you. The second pro is that it automatically shuts down for the keyboard. As for the mouse, there's an on and off switch for that one. Though, both of them have an auto sleep function if you're not using them for a certain amount of time. So another thing is that there's no obvious delay. Although I feel it, I don't think a lot of the people would feel it. Now, when it comes to the 2.4 GHz connection, it's not sensitive to interference because I'm using a wireless headset as well. I've got Bluetooth connections everywhere and the Wi-Fi. It's not messing up with the connection of the keyboard and the mouse with my computer. Oh, and I also did mention it's quiet. Does this pass? Yes. It does, because it's very neat, it's very quiet, very convenient to use. If you got some questions, comment it down below. This is Biboyharanero. Don't forget to like or sub. It's free. So I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.